Hey, I'm Val, and I like doing game challenges, so I wanted to know, can you beat Batman Arkham Asylum with no combo exceeding 1? Combos are very important to the combat, allowing you to get extra experience, knock down thugs easier, as well as enter free flow, so this will severely limit me in my combat. But with that, let's get into the run. First encounter, I was able to easily find a solution with the electric door, each thug lining up to be electrocuted by the bat. I think they may be stupid. The following encounter is when I realized that kicking gives you a combo of 2, and I was worried that I won't be able to take them out because of this, as I've only experienced taking out thugs with a combo of 3, but thankfully the game allows you to take them out with many 1 punches, so we're still good. And then the Zsasz encounters when I learned that glide kicks also give you a combo of 2, so I had to redo it. This time I gave him a good old fashioned hug, causing him to faint, most likely the first time he's felt compassion since he got here. After the gas room is another simple encounter, or well it would have been, but this is where I relearned that you can hit multiple thugs with 1 punch in this game, but after restarting it was no issue. By the way, if you're wondering about the legitimacy, I stream all my challenges before turning them into YouTube videos, so you can find them on my channel, or even better, come by and join me live. The Titan fight gave me a taste of what's to come, making me worry that the later Titan fights would break me, mentally and physically, but thankfully this Titan is American and dies from cardiac arrest. But it seems Joker has learned that Americans eat too much unhealthy food to be a reliable Titan, so I cannot count on any more heart attacks from here on. I purposely choose to unlock the remote control Batarang as it can knock down thugs in combat, allowing me to take them out without risking a combo, and then I accidentally skipped Officer Balls. Sorry. I'm so glad that takedowns that aren't silent still only count as 1 despite Batman clearly doing 2 hits.
Are you aiming at? Oh, I just realized I skipped Officer Balls.
After getting a sip of Balls' flask, we follow his conveniently left behind trail that leads us to our first big fight, and this fight took more attempts than it should have, both due to my own greed and forgetting combos persist through dodges. Yes, this happens again more throughout the run.
I got a combo.
But after those few fails, this fight was more time consuming than actually challenging.
It is. It doesn't go anywhere half the time.
And for the first time in a while, I chose to actually take out these thugs, as I'm going to need any extra experience I can get due to no combo multiplier. The upcoming Predator section is super easy, all of them being taken out silently. Well, that would be the case if I wasn't an idiot and failed for not paying attention.
I didn't realize he was the other guy.
Second attempt, however, is when I decided to be less stupid and actually take them all out. And the second round also going as intended.
Works.
And then I learned that the game requires an internet connection. Yep, the Wi-Fi was being dumb while I was streaming, so this happens a few more times. Nothing special about these two, and then the Batmobile section. Don't ask me how I forgot about the electric doors, but I did. Though it was more fun than I expected, and somehow the remote control Batarang actually saved a thug instead of killing him.
Hit him again!
But this one instance alone shows how powerful the remote control Batarang is for this challenge, as well as unlocking the next, even more useful gadget, Explosive Gel.
The electrified doors? Yeah, you're right. I could have done it so much faster.
I once again take out these two for easy XP before putting Explosive Gel to the test, and I'm not exaggerating, it worked amazingly.
It doesn't add combo.
Now I have 2 ways to easily take down thugs without using more than 1 combo. I decided to move on to a different starting point for this Predator section than I usually do, and well, you see how it went. And then I accidentally punched a thug twice.
I got it.
Next attempt, I decided to finally properly use Explosive Gel in a Predator section. Yeah, you heard that right, folks. I'm boring and usually just take them out silently 1 by 1 instead of using the environment. But hey, it allowed me to take out 3 of them at once.
Hey, it still
After
works.
that, only 2 were left, both of which got the good old Batarang ground takedown treatment. I decided to use the same technique on the hallway thugs that I did in my True Stealth playthrough, link that in the description if you find that interesting, as this method is very effective for knocking them to the ground to be able to be taken down. And then in the next room, I recycle another technique from that video before draining all of the gas with one batarang. Don't know if it's actually faster, but it's very satisfying to get it right. I unlocked the twin batarang for convenience and make my way to the group fight doctor, in which the fight wasn't terrible. There was an electric door, but it was hard to use due to the narrow hallway, but overall the battle was more time consuming than actually hard.
Oh, he's definitely dead.
Too full of yourself, Bats.
That's not
Just
true.
soften you up.
Just kidding, stay trapped, idiot. Just kidding, I'll set you free.
Think of this as a preview.
I once again used bait to lure some thugs to their early grave. I know you'd never guess, this room once again remains completely unchanged from any other playthrough. And instead of Batman learning how to properly deal with knife thugs, he just plays the same card as before and blows him up.
Easy.
One of the easiest Predator sections in the game, which I learned you can actually skip after someone in the chat informed me about that, but I still took them out to get the experience.
Bazinga.
Batman doesn't listen to me trying to warn him.
Quick, Batman, hold your breath. Hold your breath. Please, plug your nose. I told you to plug your nose, Batman. Every time.
And the first Scarecrow goes with no issues, but the rest of them will provide more of a challenge, you know if you've played the game. I also somehow speedran this first section, like I locked in and I got it done in less than a minute, which felt great to do live. The thugs that break through the door were easily able to be taken care of with some gel and remote control batarang, and I somehow made my way through the upcoming Predator section really fast as well. Maybe I should attempt speedrunning at some point, though I don't know any of the tech to skip the slow-mo takedowns or anything, but it could be worth a shot.
Harley kills the old man.
Let's fly him.
Up next was the Bane fight, and thankfully lowering his health wasn't hard. You just need to be patient and let him run into the walls. However, in order to progress the fight, you need to punch him, not once, but sadly twice, and I couldn't find a way to avoid having to punch him twice, so the current max combo you need to beat the game is 2. And then I accidentally punched a thug while trying to hit Bone, resulting in a ×3 combo, so I had to restart. After the restart, I was able to get a successful run. However, this fight sucked compared to the previous fights. Far more stressful and annoying, while still being time consuming instead of just running around until my batarang recharges. I unlocked the knockdown upgrade for convenience and used my gel to take out these thugs, nothing special. And once again skipped these thugs to make my way to unlock the batarang. As per usual, this thug is taken out silently, and I once again reuse a tactic from my True Stealth playthrough to easily take out all of the thugs with some explosive gel. However, 2 survived, and then I learned that you can just throw them to their deaths by pushing them into the pits of despair. Neat. The next area, I only take out the 2 snipers and immediately make my way to the next fight, skipping the other group entirely because I didn't feel like dealing with them. This group I learned that you can just wait up here and wait for the batarang to recharge, making it less of a hassle running around, as well as remembering that I now have the bat claw, and can just pull them over whenever. So the new strat was to claw people whenever the batarang wasn't available, allowing me to take people straight to the ground more easily, and I was going to need this, as the fights will only get harder with more thugs introduced, and especially when gun thugs become more common in regular fights. The 4 snipers outside the mansion are just like a usual playthrough, all stealth, so no worries about combos. Well, I lied, I was stupid and didn't use stealth.
This works. And not even close.
I skipped the encounter below me due to the lack of health and also put off the library fight for the exact same reason. I set off a false alarm and complete the next Predator section after 4 attempts, because the Wi-Fi was once again a pain, and then I died because the thug up top saw me and I was dumb and died again.
Stop. Oops.
Now, you guys may want to have a look on the wall.
What? What did he... There's definitely times where it's amusing.
Someone left you a gift.
Just die already.
And I once again recycled tactics because it worked so well in my other video that it's basically the best way to deal with a group without getting combo. This fight has the perfect setup for a remote control battering, so of course I use it to my advantage.
Yeah, which...
And now the only way to progress is to do the library fight I've been putting off. The library fight was by far the most frustrating after the Bane fight, as, well, you see how many there are, and I can't hit any of them more than once or even counter after hitting someone. I'm not joking, this fight took nearly 5 whole minutes, as well as being put on life alert towards the end with literally 1 HP left. The health bar was actually empty. But Batman didn't give in and persisted through the rest of the battle. But while this fight goes on, if you made it this far and aren't subscribed, Social Blade is predicting I'll reach 5,000 subs by June, so let's try to make that happen. And maybe even consider becoming a channel member. Guess who's recycling methods again because of how big of a genius I was with the previous run of the game? Me. Oh, you didn't guess me? Okay, well. This fight I actually decided to do normally instead of using stealth and a dual battering. This fight wasn't too bad to do without a combo. I forgot to switch to remote control battering and got shanked because of it. And then learned that if you're punched while in remote control battering, it still continues. So that's cool, I guess, though it's nothing special. But not to sound like a broken record, but this fight was once again more time consuming than actually challenging.
Ears not bleed. So.
Batman gets sucker punched so hard he starts hallucinating his parents dying. But after Batman's done, he enters his second Scarecrow section, this time having enemies for him to face. But there is a speedrun strat, and that is to use explosive gel, taking out the skeletons in one kaboom.
No thanks.
Making it so Batman doesn't have to strike and risk getting a combo. And the same one can be used during the second encounter. Also, did you know that you can use the remote control battering here too? It's just really hard to aim properly due to the perspective being different, but is not practical to use.
The one...
Also, fun fact, I noticed while cutting down the footage that there is a single frame of Batman in the wrong location when you activate the light here. Just thought I'd let you know. No fried bat wings on the menu this time. Zsasz. Not sure what else to say here. This fight was an absolute cakewalk. It took less than a minute to complete, so might as well show you it in full.
No, why are you... Oops. Gonna fry my what? He's gonna do what to me? Yeah, that's fine. I'm thinking of buying Arkham Trilogy on my Xbox One, even though I already have Arkham Knight. Huge.
And then I got another network error and had to redo the fight. But now all my health is gone. What happened? So this time I used the door and almost died, but hey, I did it again. My internet must have a grudge against me for some reason, because holy moly.
Great.
I find the hidden office because chat wanted me to. Really interesting find. I've never seen it before, so it is cool standing on these couches and looking at the blueprints on the wall. But this challenge had to continue. I skip all 3 gunners in this room and immediately make my way to my next destination, the Psychiatric building, while also skipping this fight too. I choose to unlock triple battering, who knows if it'll even come in hand, and this fight I had to redo because I did 2 ground takedowns too close together.
Do you think that the bird...
1 triple battering, which doesn't sound right to say out loud, takes out these 3 thugs easily.
Dean.
I steal Mr. Sharp's phone and use it to hack my way out. Maybe that's why Batman keeps looking over his shoulder, making sure Sharp isn't there to take it back. I don't know. Lunatics are thankfully no issue in this challenge, as taking them to the ground is super simple, as well as waiting a second to lose the combo before taking them out. I was fully expecting the first Harley fight to be an issue, as, well, guns. But hey, if you're smart, you can just make sure to throw a batarang at them or use the claw to stop them. Then they act stupid and forget about the guns for a good bit of time. Also, there's a fun strat I discovered here. If you were to throw a remote control batarang as soon as the second phase starts, you can knock down most of the thugs, or all of them, and take them out. Though it wasn't as effective in this run, as I couldn't take them out too close together to each other or my combo would go up. As said before, lunatics are no issue in this challenge, and due to time, I'll mostly skip over them unless something notable actually happens. However, the second Harley thug fight was easy, until it wasn't. The strat at first was to just knock them down so the floor could take them out, but over time that did chip damage to Batman, making it harder on top of the fact that he couldn't counter most of the time without risking a ×2 combo. Nor did I purchase any health upgrades as of yet, as you can see. But after a grueling 3 minutes, yeah, I know it's only 3 minutes, but it felt way longer doing it live, I was able to get it done on my first try. I then accidentally buy the wrong upgrade for what I wanted to do, and then I kill a few lunatics to unlock it and actually get the upgrade I want. Inside the botanical garden, after taking out these 2 thugs guarding the gate, I decide to just completely ignore the predator section by just sneaking behind the guy and go straight to the power. The most annoying part of this fight was the cramped space it took place in, resulting in half of Batman's life being taken away, but hey, he did it. Though we can move on to me continuing to skip this predator section by just grappling above them and going through the door.
You can just skip the predator section, I didn't know that.
And I predicted the future on what the Joker was gonna say.
A little bit of red, and then a touch of green. I actually don't remember if that's what he says. Oh, I was right!
Not sure why I got so excited about it though. And I once again, yes again, recycle a tactic I found just for fun though. As you can leave this vent without the thugs noticing, but you can't get past them without them knowing from what I could understand. Though since there are only 2, the claw is perfect for taking them out.
Collect all of them, the better they cause you and get arrested on... It gets arrested on the call, so maybe the trophies help locate... But how would they help them get located?
I had to restart this predator section once because I was impatient and got the doctors killed, but it's okay, they respawned. But after this, we get to what was by far the most anxiety-inducing part, the Dule Titan fight. This fight was a pain in the butt. While this fight was only 2 attempts, those 2 attempts took 10 minutes, and you may be like, it's only 10 minutes. No. It would be only 10 minutes if it was doing nothing. 10 minutes of trying not to die while placing explosive gel because you cannot hit them more than once is way more stressful than it should be. Plus, explosive gel takes forever to get out, as quick spray wasn't introduced until City, so Batman takes his sweet old time placing the gel in a perfect bat shape, and if he's hit at any point, even at the end, it magically disappears off the floor.
Oh my goodness.
And then...
Stop! I better not have to do that fight again.
So glad I didn't have to do that fight for a 3rd time. That fight alone was a taste of what the end of the game has to offer, which I was not looking forward to. Batman can't help but keep twerking as he pulls all the thugs into the endless pits below and takes out the last guy with a kick and a takedown. These 2 thugs are no issue because of the claw technique, and I once again completely skipped this predator section, as you can just do that and that's pretty cool. Just glide over them and that's it.
Nah, loser.
And I also learned that you can skip talking to Cash and immediately continue, so that I did too. I also decided to try out skipping this predator section too, which I learned can be done without taking them out. Just grapple to this explosive point and then run over and hack the terminal while hiding, and they somehow don't see you, and just to be safe I took out this guy and I was free. Great. The final Scarecrow made me nervous knowing the fight at the end and how enclosed it is, but explosive gel is still my best friend for taking them out. The only issue would be the timing to place the gel without getting hit. Round 1 wasn't terrible, got hit a few times, but was able to take them all out. Only issue arises when you gotta place more for phase 2 when, well, I died. So I try again, and this time make sure to round them up so I can take them all out with one gel, and it worked. But look at my health, there's still 2 more rounds. As you know, round 2 is the easiest, just throw a batarang and dodge, though I used the time to tactically place more gel for round 3. But round 3 I also decided to not take out the Titan immediately, as he can also one-shot the smaller dudes, so I just focus on dodging while he does all the heavy lifting. And then later on sacrifice him. The 3 left are easy to take care of with the claw. Now you might be thinking, it's probably smooth sailing from here up until the next Titan fight. And to that I say, you're wrong. Literally the next fight underneath the broken elevator is such a pain in the rear end, on top of the fact that you need to take out the 3 guarding the terminal each time you restart. Well, you don't have to, but it's still annoying. This section was once again 10 minutes long. I don't think I need to repeat myself on why that's long for a single encounter, and it took place across 5 different attempts. The big fight downstairs has 2 guns as well as way too many thugs to be able to use the claw technique, as well as you can't just leave and wait for the batarang to recharge because they'll get the guns and shoot you down. So I had to be in the moment the whole time to stop them, but thankfully after what felt like forever, I was able to take out all the thugs without getting a combo of more than 1.
Come down. I would've just...
The Killer Croc section is nothing to write home about with this challenge, so it will be skipped. I decide it's not even worth the effort to do this fight, so I just run past them and go straight for the vent to unlock the piece of resistance for this challenge, the Ultra Bat Claw. You'll see how much more useful it is in the upcoming encounters. And apparently these thugs are still here, but the plant decided to be a real one and takes out a couple of them with one of their pollen balls. Thanks, bro. Most of them dead, only one of them I had to deal with my own hands.
No, screw you.
This encounter did not go quite as planned, but hey, it still worked.
I got 2.
I hacked these 2 terminals from a spot the thugs can't bother me from before making my way to the final Predator section, which went surprisingly well, like shockingly well, so I'm just going to play it out. It's less than a minute long.
Oh, that was perfect. Holy crap. Dang.
Final terminal down, and these 2 thugs go down with no problem, and then it's time for the first of 2 fights I've been dreading since the previous Titan battle. Once again, I got really lucky and it only took 2 attempts, and you'll see here how useful the Ultra Bat Claw can be. It was more of a battle of patience, waiting and slowly taking out each of the regular thugs, either through ground takedowns, the Titan, or the door, while dodging the Titan, and then focusing on him when there are no more thugs to worry about.
That took way longer than it should have.
Back at the Botanical Garden, I don't bother taking out the 2 cops and make my way straight to the Ivy fight, which was by far the easiest encounter with thugs in the whole game, as whenever one gets close, just dodge over them, that's it, and just keep throwing batarangs at Ivy and you're good. And now there are only 2 bosses left, the 2 Titans and Titan Joker. I'm gonna be honest, this Titan fight went way better than expected, other than the fact I used the tactical health upgrade to restore my health mid-fight. It boiled down to spamming the bat claw until there was an opening to place some gel, then keep having the Titan charge at you until they hit a wall near the gel, either punch or explode them once, then do it again, and then their health drops past the bar. That's really it, but it took over 7 minutes. Not anything really noteworthy like I expected it to be, but now it's time for the final battle, Titan Joker. It's been all leading up to this moment. While you can't beat the game with no combo, you can beat it with a minimum of 2. Well, never mind, the minimum is now 3. Crap. So you definitely cannot beat the game with no combo. And then I keep getting unlucky because it was both the longest stream I've done, and I was tired and mildly frustrated with every attempt. It took me 4 attempts and nearly 30 minutes to finally take out the Joker without getting any combo more than 1 on any of the thugs because holy moly it was annoying to deal with them. But with that, can you beat the game with no combo? Well, we already answered that. No. The lowest combo you need to beat the game is 3, and it takes place at the very end of the game. If you made it this far and enjoyed, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. The road to 5,000 subs continues, and with that, have a good day and a good night.